Good evening, everyone. Sometime back, Mrs. RB asked me to create an online collaborative space where we could all work on the self-study portion of our accreditation for the fall of 2021. This is a document that will need to be completed before then. And so what I've done here is I've created a Google Doc so that anyone with the link, which is limited to our Good Shepherd faculty, staff, and administration, as well as y'all as the advisory board advisory council members, we're the only ones that have access to this document and can actually edit this document. It's kind of like a living document. Anytime we add an update to it, it stays, okay? If you're not familiar with Google or Google Docs, just a quick run through, anything you do edit, I can't go back and change it. So please be careful with what you do. Don't delete, don't highlight or delete anything, something like that, because if you accidentally do something and mess something up, you can't say, hey, Mr. Compton, I did this. I need this to be changed because I won't be able to go back and change it. So please limit what you add to this document to the space provided in these boxes here. This is what the accreditation self-study looks like, separated by domain. For the advisory council, you guys are mainly focused on domain 2, I believe, which starts here on page 13. Let's see here. Yes, domain 2, governance, administration, and management. So you'll see that this is how it's laid out. This is the title of the domain. The standards are broken down, and then the supporting data that you'll add in the text box provided. Please type only in these text boxes, all right? If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I can kind of walk you through it. Basically, this, like I said earlier, the boxes are where you will add your input for the self-study for our accreditation next fall. And this is, as I mentioned earlier, just a living document. We are going to take all of this and refine it at the very end so that we kind of format it and put it in the correct format that it needs to be in for accreditation purposes. So if we look here, for example, question number 2 says, how are the bylaws and constitutions for school advisory board / council, et cetera, reviewed and utilized to provide direction and scope for council members? If one of you all finds it pertinent to add information for this particular standard of domain 2, you can always go in and add your input. You can just start by, typing whatever you'd like to say. You could say, the bylaws are reviewed annually. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of making this up. But you could kind of start typing whatever it is. And this way, everyone has access to see what's being added to the document, and we're collaborating as opposed to getting together and meeting, once every month and saying, all right, let's spend an hour focusing on what can we add to this document, our self-study. This will be an opportunity for people to access it on their own time and to review it that way. A suggestion I'm going to make is that you add your name first. So, for example, I know Ms. Moreno. You can do Irene Moreno, and then you can start by, the bylaws are sorry, reviewed annually, and then you can add any pertinent information that you feel necessary. If you don't want to add your name, that's completely understandable. That's fine. Just make sure that the main takeaway is you're typing only in these boxes. Okay. So this is basically a rundown of how you guys can add information to this self-study and how we can collaborate virtually and not kind of work at our own pace and then review each other's input. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at benrcompton@gscschool.org. And yeah, I hope this helps us move forward in the future as we really take a deep dive into our self-study for this accreditation.